Hey guys, Marsingan here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so we have the EZA for the INT exchange Namek, Vegeta and Goku live in the game now. I've finished up their EZA and we are going to jump in and take a look at what they can do. So obviously mine is Rainbow full level 10 links. I am running them on the Tech Vegeta team. One of the couple of guys that he gets the 200% leader skill from. Obviously the card being an exchange unit has all of the Vegeta links and categories, right? So is technically a Vegeta family unit. I remember talking about this back when this unit came out. Obviously the fact you can exchange into Goku and be on a Vegeta family team, you know, like Vegeta family Super Battle Road and stuff, which is kind of fun. It does mean that even when you exchange into Goku, units who support Vegeta family would obviously still support him. Something I was going to mention during the Daima Vegeta video yesterday as well, when we're talking about some of these Vegeta characters. Really looking forward to the Heroes EZAs for this year, because we get the Xeno Super Saiyan Goku and Xeno Super Saiyan Vegeta, and they are of course the family supports, so that Vegeta is going to be really good for this team, providing support to all these Vegeta family characters. But let's take a look at his super attack effects here. So post EZA, he greatly raises attack and raises defense for 1 turn. So greatly raised for the attack, normal raise for defense on the 12 key, and the 18 key is raise attack and defense for 3 turns, mega colossal damage to the enemy. So obviously he gets like the stats from that will carry over to the next turn as long as he's on rotation, because it's raising for 3 turns. And then his post EZA passive, Key 3, attack and defense 180, additional Key 4 and damage reduction of 30% when HP is 30% or more. Additional Key 4 and launch an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super when HP is 50% or more. Then an additional Key 4 and another additional attack that has a great chance to become a super when HP is 70% or more. So if you're at 70% or more HP, not only does he get a ton of extra Key, but you get 2 additional attacks, one of which has a high chance to become a super, the other has a great chance. Then he gets an additional attack and defense 150 when attacking. If HP is 50% or less at the start of your turn, or starting from the 5th turn, he has the revival ability, revives with 70% HP recovered by exchanging with Goku when anyone on the rotation is KO'd, right? So obviously the better version of a revival, right? It's not just him that has to get killed. So realistically, it looks like he's going to be pretty strong outside of turns where you're starting on really low health. But then obviously turns where you start on low health, you potentially are then just going to be able to revive. So yeah, we'll go ahead and see what we can do here. We've got 5 links with the Tech Saiyan Day Vegeta, so obviously very good setup for him here. 214k defense start of turn. Doesn't seem that crazy, but obviously bear in mind that we are going to get the 150% on super, so he's going to go up to like 500. Then of course we get multiple attacks, each of which are raising his defense. So we'll just go ahead and see what we can get here. Obviously being on full HP, we get tons of extra Key as well. So with the links from Vegeta, he's starting off at 23 Key for the turn, which is pretty good. So let's see what we can do here. Doing the good old classic Super Saiyan 2 Youth Gohan Blue Zone stage, so we can get the Immortal Goku in Phase 2, so we can have a few turns to see this guy. Obviously he doesn't have any like permanent build-up, but we want to be able to get the exchange with Goku, which we should be able to do, since we now have just a turn restriction for it instead of always relying on start of turn HP, which is what it was pre-EZA. So you could get however many turns into the event you want, and if you're not at that HP threshold, you wouldn't be able to get the revive. I believe as well we get some he had a massive defensive like weakness pre-EZA, which I'm not sure if we still have. 18 mil for the starting attack here. Remember, we got no support on the rotation as well, so it's pretty good. Then we get our first additional, I think it was normal, that got skipped. Oh no, was it that? Because I can always forget about the way the new cut-in thing works. But his additional 12 key was an 11 mil, so that's pretty good. And then yeah, still takes 539k. So defensively, post super, we did 2 super attacks. So we're at 200 odd k defense start of turn. 150% on super means about 500k. Then he's getting 30% from the 2 supers that he did each. So they're only going to be, what, about 60 to 70k each. So that means post-super, he's only like just over 600k defense, and he doesn't have guard or damage reduction or anything. So, I mean, obviously there, worst case scenario, right, eating a type disadvantage super attack. Definitely not really what we want. So let's see. I don't really want to heal like this early. I really need King Vegeta to be able to get orbs as well. But yeah, I have to grab these for you so you guys can tank. King Vegeta needs ideally three AGL orbs, but I suppose we'll just have to pop one of these early so we can make sure we make it through to the next turn. But I mean, yeah, pretty bad showing, I would say, for the first turn. Unfortunate, of course, getting immediately tagged by a type disadvantage super attack, but you know, that's what's going to happen in some of these tougher events. And like even type neutral, like harder bosses than the first phase of this Gohan stage are obviously going to be hitting a lot harder, even with only being type neutral. So yeah, post super, I mean, his defense should be good enough to tank most normals, but again, if it's like 600k with no guard or damage reduction, there are bosses that will hit harder than that with their normal attacks. So defense may be a little bit shaky for this guy, but we'll see how we go as we continue on here. I mean, of course, on his best case scenario turn, if you're above the 70% HP, if you get the additional all proc as supers and you get the hidden potential as well, you can super 4 times in one turn. And bear in mind, as we said before, he does carry over the extra defense from the 18 key super into the next turn. So he's starting off at 355 and now gets 150% on super. So that now he's getting what, another like over 500k defense on super plus the super attack effects. So that's a little bit better for the second turn. As much as I don't want to lose out on stacks for you, I might just do this just to make sure you can actually attack. And then we'll do this and we'll grab these for you. I mean, Vegeta might still get additionals as well, but this way we reduce the likelihood that he just annihilates Gohan here. There's no... Well, actually, the Vegeta unit technically is Vegeta / Goku, so there is a unit on the rotation whose name includes Goku, right, for Tech Vegeta to potentially get another additional, but... Alright, so the second one here, 20 mil, okay, with no support, same links active, of course. And then we did start above the HP threshold, so yeah, we get 13 mil on the first additional. I do like his 12 key super animation. A normal for the third additional, and then we do get the hidden potential where it's only a normal, but it crits and does finish him off. So I mean, he could do a relatively decent amount of damage, I suppose, in the turn. I wonder if it's one of those things like it's probably better to look at him as more of a Namek Saga team buff, because like this team, especially the Tech Vegeta Saiyan Day team, I think this team's really, really good, right? It's gotten a lot of really strong buffs because it's Vegeta family or Super Saiyans, right? So we can throw on like the Tech Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Gogeta that just got their EZA. There's the STR Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Vegeta that can still be good. Future Gohan, like obviously with the release of the worldwide Super Saiyan trio, they only get a 170 lead from Vegeta, but that doesn't matter because they're so good and they're supporting everybody else with tons of defense. But yeah, I feel like there are probably stronger options for this team than these guys, at least now, right, in the Vegeta form. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to do once we do actually get the Goku exchange. We shouldn't be too difficult considering we're going to have Gohan and Goku. The Vegeta exchange unit isn't the one specifically that has to die, so it should be easy enough to get this lined up and get the revival. We're going to do some decent damage to Gohan, but not too much. I know you can do it with the Broly team, but yeah, you can kill this Gohan before, because it only takes one turn. Pretty much only have to super him 3 times to fill up that bar for Goku to then join the fight in the next phase, and Gohan obviously gets full health. Although I think he has less. Although he probably has, I don't know, he might have more actually. I don't know how much HP he even has in this phase, but yeah, you can actually just kill him and move on to the last phase against Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which is obviously not what we want to do. So, alright, so, I mean, what we could do... See, I do want to make sure, I want to try and make sure I get the revival though, which is the problem, because is there even any way to make sure I can? Because these guys, like I say, I feel like, I can't remember what their passive was exactly before, but I thought they did have, I guess it's the fact that if you're at 30% or less, or like 29% or less HP, they lose the damage reduction. Because that's another thing to bear in mind actually as well. I kind of forgot at the time back on that first turn, them taking all that damage from the super attack, that was with all of their post-super defense and the fact that they have 30% damage reduction. Because yeah, here they don't really have any defensive weakness added into their kit outside of obviously losing that damage reduction if you're at 29% or less HP. So if you're not, then... Because we're starting at 400k defense here, which means they get 600k defense on super because of their 150% on super from their passive. So them dying here is going to be somewhat difficult. I guess I could deliberately not get the orbs for King Vegeta, and we like hope he gets super attacked, but King Vegeta is quite good, so even if he only gets like the 1 orb here, he would potentially survive normals. I'm not sure. I don't know how hard this Gohan hits exactly. Best case scenario, of course, is he just supers King Vegeta, and then we're all good. But, okay, so he's going to super you, so you take double digits, of course. 23.1 million for the first attack here. Additional normal, and then no hidden potential. I mean, oof. That's the problem with these additional attacks. High chance to get a super, doesn't proc. Great chance to get a super, doesn't proc. And then, at least after that, we're able to tank, right? Because we've got over 1 million defense, 30% damage reduction. He still takes double-digit damage. What a goat. Alright, so I guess next time, I should have gone with my instinct and just put King Vegeta in slot 1, because Gohan would have then supered him, but... Alright, so we'll do this. I like the fact that these turns are going to play out very quickly, because all of our units' attacks are just going to get dodged. But yeah, can we actually get to the point where we can see the revival? I mean, I guess if we're struggling to get it in this phase, I can always progress to the final Super Saiyan 2 Gohan stage, and then just put like King Vegeta in slot 1 against the tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan and just get absolutely destroyed. But it does mean then when we get the rotation back, I need to try and make sure we have a slot 1 unit ready ahead of time, which I guess would have been ideal for the next rotation, because I think Blue Evolution Vegeta is going to be floating into slot 1. But because yeah, that's the thing. I feel like with this team, you have the Tech Vegetas, and then you've got like Blue Evolution Vegeta can be there as a main rotation character, and you can alternate them between slot 1 if you want. And then obviously the physical Super Saiyan trio, a solid option as well. So like even if you were going to put this Vegeta on the team, I feel like, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from running him as a floating unit. He does get that buff from his 18 key super for 3 turns, which does mean if you float him, he doesn't have it when he comes back. So I suppose that is detrimental. But also, when did I switch over to Gohan? I don't remember doing that. But Broly just going ham over here on the boy. He's still going. 9999. And then of course, wow, he still actually took some damage. I'm kind of surprised. He went from this though, because he's got type advantage. Yeah, see, this rotation, like, no one's taking damage on this rotation. So, I guess, what do I do here? I suppose we just play this out like normal. See what our guy can do. But yeah, I mean, overall, I would say the Vegeta part of the card, not, like, super impressive. Not, like, completely terrible. You know, after the first turn, when we're getting some build-up and that, able to, or at least having the super attack effect carry over, because it doesn't actually have any, like, permanent build-up. But then, post-super defense levels, I mean, considering he's got support from the previous rotation from the Super Saiyan Trio as well, he can tank normals, he'll be able to take some super attacks, but not all of them. Especially not from the hardest hitting bosses. But man, these EZAs coming out at 6 o'clock in the morning for me is we're at real struggle hours. 13 million on the additional. See, because these are the turns that we want to see, right? Getting all the additionals, all of these extra supers are giving him extra defense as well. Doesn't quite finish him off though, unfortunately. Okay, so because yeah, we don't want to get the we can't go all the way through the run and not get the revival, right? So of course he lowers everyone's ki though, which is a massive pain. See, this would be the perfect turn to have the Vegeta on, but I mean, I feel like with King Vegeta on the rotation as well, I'm basically going to have to do this just to make sure I don't die on this turn. Oops. Well, I misplayed there. That could cost me. Especially if Gohan does Super King Vegeta, then we'll just be dead. But yeah, interesting that they have made it kind of difficult to get the revival, because updating his condition so that you can do it from turn 5 without any other sort of restriction is really good. Except obviously, you know, depending how good the team is, and this team is very good, you might not actually be able to die. And the thing is, the revival, I suppose it's one of those things when you think about the revival mechanic, is on the one hand it can be saved for, like, you shouldn't be wanting to die, right? It should be one of those things that, like, this is a special ability that I've got here that if, like, I'm in trouble and I was going to die, I actually don't die. But for this unit, it's like, yeah, of course we did. For this unit, we want to die so we can get the revival, and then we can't, or at least can't die at the right time. That's all because I misclicked those orbs as well. What a pain. Alright, well, we'll have to jump back in and try and actually get the revival here. Okay, so we've got a much better setup for the revival now. Not only are we already on low HP, but I deliberately kept King Vegeta on the rotation. Not going to pick up orbs of him, put him in slot 1, and he should very easily get killed by Gohan here. Yep, there we go. Alright, so now we can get our exchange with Vegeta. Or exchange with Goku, I should say. Exchange with Vegeta into Goku. He must die. One thing about this unit I've never particularly liked is the that facial expression from Goku. Like the downward angle. It looks very weird. It almost looks like a South Park face. Just know this. I'll do what I can to carry on. The only thing I've said this before, I think when we were talking about like AGL Future Gohan and Trunks, I don't like this. They haven't done it a lot since then, but I don't like the units exchange by getting a revival thing, because obviously it means that you get your revival, and so then you don't get to use that unit until the next turn. So let's go ahead and do this just so we can heal back up to full. We didn't get a lot of orbs with the Super Saiyan trio, so it means we can make sure that they're okay in the middle there, especially if they get super attacked by Goku or something. And yeah, this puts us back to full HP, so we can go through to the next turn and actually finally see what the Goku part of this card does. Hopefully the Goku is very good, because it's, as we have seen firsthand, it can be annoying to actually get him to come out sometimes, unless you are really trying to force it. Wow. Even with the Princess Snake active, we're actually going to take loads of damage here. Damn. I can't remember Goku's passive, but hopefully he doesn't have have a bunch of HP restrictions as well, because that's going to be awkward. It's a problem with the Super Saiyan trio only having a 170 lead on this team and then not getting a lot of ki. But alright, so Goku, obviously his links do change a little bit. So now we've got 4 links: Saiyan Lineage, Saiyan Warrior Race, Pred for Battle, Fierce Battle. He has 289k defense. So let's take a look at his stuff here. So his 12 key super, greatly raise attack and raise defense for 1 turn. The 18 key is greatly raise attack and defense for 3 turns. So that is good. And then for our passive, we have key 10, attack and defense 200%, additional attack and defense 159 when performing a super, reduction of damage reduction by 30%. That's just for free, not HP restricted, which is good. High chance to crit. Additional 5 key and 59% attack when there's an extreme class enemy. Additional damage reduction of 30% and performs a crit guaranteed when there's a Planet Namek Saga ally in the same turn, or a Planet Namek Saga enemy. I completely forgot about his Namek Saga restriction. We obviously do not have a Namek Saga ally or enemy on this setup, but let's go ahead and see what we can do here. We can't heal or anything either, so very much just have to hope we get decently lucky here with like the attack placements and everything. So let's see what Goku is going to do here for his first super. He had almost 300k defense on super, gets 159%. So he's going to be at like 800k ish, plus then the super attack effects. So yeah, so he only did the 1 super. It's a bit disappointing he doesn't have any sort of built-in, like, additional chance. There's a dodge, nice. Because, yeah, at least Vegeta, even though they are HP restricted, can get a bunch of supers within the turn, which means a bunch of increases to his defense. But, yeah, it's a bit of a shame Goku not having any sort of additional. We do get the permanent, I say the permanent, we do get the 3-turn stack from his 18 key super though, so I'll just go ahead and pop this now, so we can then grab a bunch of these, get a ton of health. But yeah, I'm not sure what to think about these guys. Like, when I read their kits on paper, I thought, okay, these guys seem interesting. Like, I like, you know, even though an HP restrictions can be annoying, the fact that Vegeta can get a bunch of extra attacks, and especially if he's starting out on the first turn, then obviously you're on full HP already anyway, so it doesn't matter. And then it's one of those things where them making the revival condition easier, I mean, it is good. It's still better than it was pre-EZA or anything, don't get me wrong. It's not like they've made it worse. But the fact that we actually couldn't get his revival in the first run, this is what I was saying before, right? Like, should you have to try and go out of your way to get the revival, or should you, like, ideally be keeping it for when it's actually needed, right? Because in most cases, when you're going into these events and stuff for missions, or when new events come out, you know, your only real objective is to win the event. Whereas obviously, because we're trying to showcase the unit here, we're trying to get the revival so we can get Goku out and see what he does. And then, yeah, it can always, it's typical when it's in that kind of setting that's what you want to happen. It can be super annoying to get it to actually play out that way. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, we jumped through all these hoops to get Goku out, and then he did a 20 million attack stat, and that was it. Now, obviously, with a Namek Saga ally or enemy, he gets guaranteed crit. He obviously gets extra attack if we're fighting an extreme class enemy. So technically, it isn't the best event to be using him in, I guess. But with that buff from the previous turn, he's now at 463k defense, which means on this turn, he's getting, like, what, well over 700k defense on super, so well over 1 million damage, 30% damage reduction. Obviously that is pretty good. Grab these and then grab these for you. So I mean, they're definitely not bad, and I think one of the big things that we really needed from the rest of this celebration was to get more buffs for the Namek Saga team. But it's kind of like my initial thoughts as we were doing the first part, especially when if a large majority of the fight is going to be spent with just the Vegeta part of the card, I do think there are probably just better options for this team. Whereas of course Namek Saga basically just needs like all the help it can get. So what do we get from Goku on the second turn? He's obviously got the attack buff still from the previous 18 key super. Still only 20 mil, because obviously last turn he had support from the King Vegeta. So can we get an additional? We get an additional normal. Okay. I mean, 20 mil, obviously if he's got the extreme class enemy, it's going to be significantly higher attack. How well does he tank the super hit from Goku? Yeah, he does take double digit damage. Okay, well, I think we've kind of seen enough there. Let me know what you guys think of the exchange Goku and Vegeta. Honestly, I don't think they're as good as I thought. Obviously, in this scenario, Goku's not got his full like passive active or anything, but the Vegeta, I think, definitely not quite as good as I was expecting. But maybe just bad conditions for the showcase, who knows. We'll try them out in some other events and everything as well, of course. But let me know your thoughts on the exchange Vegeta and Goku down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.